right. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm going to turn our music down. So I want to say hi to you guys this morning. It is a great day, and we are here because this is something that we do every month, which is our Be in the Ecosystem. And so we do a virtual meeting. Sometimes we actually do a whole entire virtual summit, but this one's more of a meeting that we're going to be doing today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to give you all of the great details about this event that we do on a monthly basis. Now, I'm Chisa Pennix-Brown, and my company is Give It to the People, and that's exactly what we do. So we curate events across the state, mostly conferences, but we also do some professional development and also business development. This particular thing today is meant because we decided that our theme this year was Be in the Ecosystem, which meant that you had to actually be out. You actually had to talk to people. You actually have to go to events, because all of that makes a difference in your business, especially when you're talking about growing it. Each month, what we do is we bring up some of our business partners, some of our ecosystem partners, in order to kind of let you know what's going on in their neck of the woods. And so today we have some amazing people on, and we have plenty of announcements today. So I'm really super excited about being able to share all of this with you today. And just to make sure that you know what is happening all throughout the state. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to bring on our first person, which is Sarah Mixter. And ta-da! Welcome, Sarah. How are you today?
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
I am wonderful, and I'm so excited to have you on. So Sarah is at NC Idea. And Sarah, I want you to give them a little background about NC Idea, and then I'll pop our slides up.
Sure. Great. Thank you for having me today. I'm really happy to be here. NC Idea is a private nonprofit foundation that supports entrepreneurship throughout North Carolina. And we do this through a strategic combination of grants and programs that directly support entrepreneurs, as well as organizations that work with entrepreneurs to start and grow their businesses. We are based in Durham, but we serve statewide. Mm-hmm. And one of the ways that sorry, go ahead.
Go. Because I was going to say, because people don't understand sometimes that they can apply for the things that you have. They don't have to be here. So I definitely wanted to highlight that.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for pointing that out. So one of the programs that we offer is to support entrepreneurial activity throughout the ecosystem, like the BLK BIZ Summit that's happening in August. It's a great event that we're looking forward to. They recently received an Engage grant, and we are happy to be a sponsor of this activity. But Engage grants are open all year round. So if you have a similar activity that is supporting entrepreneurs, whether it be an event, a program, a pilot, please check out our website. Those applications are open year round, and you can learn more there, or feel free to reach out to me as well. And I'm happy to answer questions about that.
Yes. Now, we appreciate it because we try to tell people that one of the biggest things when it comes to being a small business is oftentimes a little small cash infusion can go a long way. And so since we do a lot of programming, that doesn't mean that we need like millions of dollars, but it does mean that, a couple $1,000s here and there can help us to offset some of the costs, to help us make our events bigger, and also helps us to be able to serve more people, which to me is really the important thing. So for me, I'm just like, thank you so much for definitely making sure that we had that grant to support the BLK BIZ Summit this year. And also to kind of take into consideration that if your business does need something like this, then this may be an option for you to be able to reach out so that you have something that can support your business as well. So I think that, for me, that's really a great thing for us to be able to then add more to the event that maybe we wouldn't have been able to do without it. But the Engage grants, like you said, are year round, but there is something coming up that only happens like twice a year. And so this is a bigger thing with the grants. So can you talk to them about your big, gigantic grant programs that have funded, millions of dollars worth of money for businesses in North Carolina?
Absolutely. Yes. Our fall grant cycle, these are grants directly to entrepreneurs to support their businesses, is opening on July 28th and will close on August 25th. So we offer grants of $10,000, which we call our NC Idea micro grants. These are project-based grants to young companies looking to validate an assumption and develop a business model. We also offer NC Idea seed grants, which are grants of up to $50,000 to early stage companies. And this is where we infuse cash where it's a critical point to scale and can help them reach their goals faster. So those grants are both open starting July 28th. And you can apply for only one of those during that time. So be sure to check out our website and read all the eligibility criteria there. We are starting to have information sessions throughout the state this week. And so we have all the dates on our website. We'll be in Charlotte on the 9th, but we will also have a virtual webinar on July 15th at 3 p.m. And all the information is on our website. You can check out the eligibility criteria, information session details. We have application templates as well. And there's also a link to sign up for office hours. If you have any questions about the application process or anything about your company, we have office hours. You can talk to a member of our staff to answer your questions.
Yes. And that's going to be really helpful for some people who, I think if you're in that idea phase, a lot of times it's hard for you to get that funding. And so when you talk about a $10,000 or $50,000 infusion, that is something that people definitely need. And the thing about this, that you said it, but I don't think that they're really getting, these are grants.
Non-dilutive funding, exactly. Free money.
They don't have to pay it back. So that's an important factor, because a lot of people, they always are looking for, well, where are the grants at? Well, and a lot of times we have to tell them it's not as many grants, but specifically for North Carolina-based businesses doing business here, these 2 grant programs can do something that can totally change the course of your business within a year. And so I would definitely suggest, if there is an in-person session that you can go to, the link and everything is right there on the screen, so you can scan the QR code, go to the page. But if you can't make it in person, definitely check out the online version that's coming up. So yes, now there's one more thing that I want you to let them know about before you go, which is something that I have been to twice. So I went to the one in Winston-Salem, and then I went last year to the one in Charlotte, and was able to also have a table to present. But this is like a humongous state family reunion to me. So talk to them about the Ecosystem Summit.
Yes, our Ecosystem Summit is happening in November. This will be our 7th year doing it. It is an event for the entire statewide ecosystem, whether you're an entrepreneur supporter organization, a government official. We want everyone who cares about entrepreneurship to be here. We talk about what's happening in our state, best practices of how to support entrepreneurs. And it's also a great time to highlight companies that we've supported and get to shout out all the champions of our ecosystem as well. So this will be in Durham this year at the Sheraton Imperial Hotel on Monday, November 17th and Tuesday, November 18th. And I really hope to see you there. Tickets are on sale now. Our early bird rate was the cheapest that you'll get a ticket right now. So I encourage you to go ahead and register if you can.
Yes, and for me, it is right around the corner from my house, so I could literally walk to the hotel this year. So I'm super excited about that. I'm like, oh, I don't have to travel far. I could just walk around the corner. So this theme this year is This Thing of Ours. Could you just give us a little explanation about the theme?
Yes, this thing of ours is a phrase that you'll hear our staff say commonly, because we can't support entrepreneurs without the folks out here in the ecosystem, like Chisa, like you on this call here, that are supporting our entrepreneurs or starting a business yourself. It's all of ours, and it takes everyone to pitch in and help support it. And so we want to just celebrate and highlight that in our ecosystem and give all the love to our entrepreneurs and the people that support them. So we're looking forward to that.
Yes. And I really had a great time. So if you want people to know more about your business, I would suggest, taking into consideration getting one of those tables. But if you don't want to get a table and you haven't been before and this is your first time, go experience. But my biggest thing that I would say to people is make sure that you take time to talk to people. So there are plenty of wonderful sessions throughout the whole entire summit, but talking to people and having those individual conversations, seeing where you can align, even if it's a totally different part of the state, that's where the value is to me. And so I did a whole lot of that. And then it turned into a lot of relationships this year. And then just seeing people. And then I came to like when you did the 25th anniversary. And it's like, then it's another version of a family reunion because now you have this connection. So I would strongly suggest for people to definitely go to this. And this also kicks off Global Entrepreneurship Week. So
yes. Oh my gosh, thank you for pointing that. You're saying such great things about the event. Thank you for covering all the bases.
Yes. So
yes, it is a kickoff to Global Entrepreneurship Week.
Yep. So if you don't know about Global Entrepreneurship Week, it's a global thing, but we have something right here, This Thing of Ours for the Ecosystem 2025. All right. Well, Sarah, I want to thank you for being on today.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. All right. So everybody, if you have any questions for Sarah, you can go ahead and you can put them in the comment section. And I see it's a bunch of people glad to be here this morning. Good morning, everybody. So we're getting a lot of them. Now let's go to another part of the state. Are you guys ready to travel? Sarah, you have a great day.
Bye. Thank you.
Yes. We're going to go to another part of the state now. We're going to just travel down the road and watch how quick it's going to be. You won't even have to get in your car. Boop. All right. So now we're down in the Charlotte area and we are bringing up Janelly Rosales. And Janelly, I'm going to bring that back up in a second, but I want them to see the whole entire cute face. So I want you to tell them about you and Mecklenburg County and what you do down there.
Thank you so much, Chisa, first for the invitation. But of course, my name is Janelly Rosales, and I am a bilingual senior program manager for the Office of Economic Development for Mecklenburg County. And truly, I manage our MEC lending program. And with that, it is a lending vehicle so that we can provide access to capital for our micro and small businesses owners of Mecklenburg County. And that all entails not just the lending vehicle of MEC lending, but I'm here for your long haul. So I say that because we have multiple free services like financial literacy to improve your credit. It might look like creating projections for your business, having sitting down with you one-on-ones to help you understand your financial statements, and of course, just typical business development and coaching. So helping you grow your business. And that might look like preparing you to hire your first employee, connecting you with our small business resource partners to ensure that you have adequate agreements and so forth. But truly, our office is a one-stop shop. I'm one of 3 other programs dedicated for small businesses here within Mecklenburg County. And I invite you to take use of your tax dollars, right? Our services are completely free. And so I always say, just ask us, right? Come meet with us, take advantage of our resources. If you approach the vehicle, the lending vehicle, wonderful. If not, my whole goal is to make sure that we see our businesses succeed, right? And that might look like we're a stepping stone to help you navigate this lovely ecosystem that we have within not only Mecklenburg County, but also North Carolina. So that's a little bit about what I do day in and day out, Chisa.
Yes. Now, let me tell you something. So when we talk about the ecosystem and we say be an ecosystem, we mean it. So how did we even meet? We met because the last time that we did our summit, we had Ednethia on. But even before that, Tosh Comer, which I always have to shout out Tosh because I'm always about giving credit to the people that deserve credit. And I love some Tosh Comer. Tosh Comer, she was working for a different company and she used to run a pretty much like a conversation of these on a monthly basis. Different format, but same kind of vibes where you get to know what's happening throughout North Carolina. And hers was a little bit more regional. Ours is just like, let's see who's available, who's doing some great stuff in the state. So Ednethia, I met her on there and I was like, I like this girl. Let me catch up with her later on. So when we did our Be in the Ecosystem Summit and we did our virtual one, she was one of the people who spoke and she was representing SCORE. So then I reached out to her again and I said, well, look, that event that you were having with SCORE, I would love to see about coming, participating. Me and her, we have this great conversation. And then she says, well, look, I've got to introduce you to Janelly because we're doing this really, really great program. And I think that this is something that you could be involved in. And so it was through the ecosystem, through asking, questions, also volunteering time, willing to be in the ecosystem, right? As far as really saying, well, what can I do? I'm not there, but I would love to be in Mecklenburg County. And so then we had this whole conversation with Janelly and I. And so I get the pleasure of being able to host a magical event that's getting ready to come up. But Janelly just told me some new groundbreaking news this morning. So talk to them about Beyond the Borrower. And I'm going to add it to our video.
Thank you so much, Chisa, for the platform. So Beyond the Borrower, this really came out of multiple conversations and truly what I see day in and day out with our clients. Yes, we have this vehicle MEC lending that's supposed to meet individuals that may have a blemish on their credit, that is looking for longer 7 years and a wonderful interest rate of 7%. For Mecklenburg County-based businesses. And that's wonderful, right? That key is there. What I see day in and day out is that our clients, sometimes they have a hurdle, right? A hurdle when it comes to preparing for loan requests, also creating projections and just understanding what would be more, how their personal credit affects their impacts when they're looking for capital. And so I truly think there's a financial literacy gap within our ecosystem. So I want to address that hurdle that multiple business owners are facing, right? So that our clients can one day ideally graduate to those well-known banks and your traditional lenders like your Bank of America's, your Fifth Thirds. I want the client to be able to go to those banks and just successfully receive a loan. But in order for the client to get there, we need to backtrack a little bit and work on some of those issues we've identified. So the Beyond the Borrower Summit, this is the second part of this initiative, and this is more forward-facing to our local Mecklenburg County businesses. And it's an in-person event that will take place on July 25th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And truly, we have a wonderful agenda that looks like we're going to have a guest speaker facilitate on specifics of life and how multiple layers, impact our day in and day out, including our business strategies. Mm-hmm. And we will also have a full day of summits from 11 to 2 and workshops. And those workshops will touch base on preparing for loan requests, navigating tax strategies for loans, mastering cash flow, and then also boosting credit health for better outcomes. And then we will top off the day from 2 to 4 p.m. with a vendor resource expo. So not only will you be able to access other non-traditional lenders like your BevCors, like your Carolina Small Business Development Funds, but you're also going to be able to connect with traditional lenders that might have, typical vehicles like secured credit cards and loans at your Fifth Thirds and Wells Fargo's as well. And then we're also going to have resources there. So back to convening our ecosystem resources. We know that it's very difficult to sometimes say, where do I go for this? Where do I go for that? So we want to put them in one location for you to just also get the resources you need right then and there. This is a free event. And I invite you to register. I think Chisa has the link on the site, and we hope that you can join us. We do have a cap of 90 individuals. So first come, first serve, okay? But we hope to see you all there. And of course, we would love to also see Chisa in person. So you'll get all of the wonderful energy, and she'll be narrating the day for us. But of course, we appreciate everyone on this call.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day. And so I would definitely suggest you make it out. Now, we do have a question that came from our audience, which says, do the businesses need to be located in Mecklenburg? And what should they do if they're located somewhere else?
So I would say if you're around the surrounding areas of Mecklenburg County, I encourage you to join. Mm-hmm. And that looks like Union County, Cabarrus County, those types of counties. And then when it comes, if you're a nonprofit, this summit is specifically for for-profit businesses. However, a nonprofit could definitely take advantage of like navigating tax returns because, but I just want to be clear that it's not going to be dedicated to 501c3s or 501c6s. So it's definitely for a for-profit business, this summit.
Okay. All right. Well, great. That answers all of the questions that I would have then. So everybody go ahead and register. And Janelly, I want to thank you for your time for being on today and letting us know about this. And then I'll see you in a couple of weeks on the 25th.
See you then. Take care, everyone.
All right. Okay, so next, right? So we're still going to be in that area, but this is a little special, little something that you guys may not have known. So what I decided to do was I was like, well, listen, since I'm going to be coming down there anyway, the day before the event, I said, well, why don't we do something that is for people that are in Charlotte? And there are a lot of times now that I live in Durham, and our business is focused here in Durham. Charlotte is like almost 3 hours away, if you really consider traffic and if you take the back roads and then if you consider, highways and all the rest of that. So I try to estimate a little bit over it, but I said, well, look, it would be great if we did a small, intimate networking. So we're going to do a Be in the Ecosystem networking the day before we do the Beyond the Borrower. It's going to be at the AC Hotel on the rooftop in South Park. And so you guys can go ahead and register. I originally did it as an invite only, but I figured if you were awesome enough to show up today for this event, then you should possibly be on the list. So feel free to scan the QR code and come on out and you can join us on the 24th from 6 to 8 p.m. We're going to provide the connections and you're going to provide your own tapas and drinks. It's some marvelous things. And I always think they have great service and great food at the AC hotels, one of my favorite places to stay. So Marriott, if you're listening and you'd love to sponsor me, we would love to have you be a sponsor, but don't worry about that for right now, if you want to come to that Be in the Ecosystem networking, that is going to be on the 24th of July down in Charlotte. And you can go ahead and you can register to attend now. And we already have a nice little group of people from different disciplines that I think that, you would love to probably be in the room with some of these people. So feel free to make sure that you make your way on down to that in Charlotte. And that's if you have time that evening. Now, next on our list, I'm going to bring up one of my favorite people and pop her on the screen. And this is going to be LaShawn Harley. So LaShawn, okay, hold up. I'm going to switch you out because of the background. LaShawn Harley is definitely one of our, if we had like levels of platinum and all of the rest of that, she might be vibranium. So she's a vibranium member. We're going to give you a Wakanda forever. She's a vibranium member, okay, of the Give It, Get It business membership. And she definitely helps us put a whole bunch of great things together. So she is actually going to be doing something. So technically, we're going down a little bit further south because she lives in South Carolina, but does a whole bunch of business in North Carolina. So you might not think that she actually lives in South Carolina, but she does. Because you see her in North Carolina so much. But LaShawn has some amazing events that are coming up because every month we try to provide some training for our members. And some things we do for free. We do a lot of stuff for free, but there are other things that we do say that you need to value that dollar. And part of us having a membership was that you would spend with each other. So LaShawn, tell them about you, okay, about your company, and then we're going to pop the event up.
Well, I think vibranium is definitely the right word for me because, in the Marvel universe, this means that you have the extraordinary ability to absorb, store, and release kinetic energy. And I'm all about action. So it's not about stationary, dormant, that stagnant energy. It's about that energetic energy. So being and becoming is about you being better and becoming your best. It's all about you. I work with you to help you put together and align your purpose and vision, such that you can navigate through an action plan that works right for you to get you with all the right resources to the right places, right people at the right time. It's all about those rights, y'all. We're talking about freedom and rights. It's all about you understanding your rights and maximizing it. And my focus is on visionary and forward thinkers who feel they've been misheard, unheard, unseen, and misunderstood. And I love how La-Tasha gave me the word mismanaged. So they've been helped, but they've been actually mismanaging the helping. People did the best they could because my thing is about I listen to what you say and don't say, and I try not to put my level of understanding to it. I bring your level to it. So I'm that cheerleader and advocate, but I don't push everything. The thing is about I still want you to be fundable, viable, and sustainable. So I'm not a one-hit wonder. I don't like checking boxes, and I don't want you to be that with your business. So thank you, Chisa, for this opportunity. And I came vibrantly prepared. As you can see, we got the colors here working. It is summertime and bringing all the love. And this week I am going to be doing a session called Stand Out or Stay Stuck. What makes you a better choice? And this is all about I'm talking about two major topics: the cost of blending in and being closed mouths don't eat. I got that from Chisa when we were talking. And so it's the idea of how do you get to be the chosen one for the right people, not just chosen by anybody and everybody. I hear people say, oh, I want to be chosen by anybody and everybody, but they give you the H's if they're the wrong people. They give you headaches, heartaches, hassles, and they want the hookup. So we don't want those H's in a business. So how do we stand out, and how do you stand out to the right people? And this past weekend, I also did a session on igniting your freedom. People need to go from being stuck to seeing, go from hesitating to being heard, and going from looking for permission to power. So I'm going to be redoing that because it's been asked, and I'm going to do that one quarterly. All of my sessions, seminars, and workshops, if you go to the Eventbrite site, all of them for these next few months are also going to have part of the proceeds supporting nonprofits. Several of them that I've been involved with personally, some of them are brand new, some of them are restarting, some of them are ongoing. So this is a way for you to get those people that your customer base, for those who are nonprofits, who are donors, who still want something in return. They support what you're doing, but they want something in return. So part of the proceeds will go to those things, and you get to vote where your money goes. So everybody gets to vote on which one they want to go to. People are like, well, all of my money won't go there. It will. I run the algorithms. I'm a math person. So no matter how many people come in, the percentage of the money that's your money that's in there, that vote will go to where you want to go, and you'll have several different ones to choose from. So I'm opening up to any nonprofit. If you would like to coordinate and collaborate, I can add you to the list. And I'm definitely looking for some collaboration for the month of November. I know it seems like it's a long way, but hey, Chisa's always going to be like, no, 90 days. We need to advertise and get it out. So what the idea is we have Give Back Tuesday during the month of November. And again, you got to understand your donors. This is understanding your marketing people. You've got to understand that the people want to donate, but they want what's in it for me. WIIFM. Remember that station. WIIFM. What's in it for me? So I would like to get with folks to collaborate, that we can put on some events. And also tell me about topics for those who are those who are going to be in the audience, of what we can do during the month of November as your way of giving back. So I'm doing the Christmas in July, starting it now, but these are going to be one-off topics, things like naming your business. What are the other legal considerations? We're going to be putting about business, marriage. And then not only that, in August, following the Black Biz Summit, which I will be there, and I've got some surprises I'm going to be bringing with me to the Black Biz Summit, I am going to hold courses. That's when the courses will be, and these are going to be 4-week. Some might be 6, but most of them are going to be 4-week courses. If you want to know what your purpose is, we're talking about being stuck and standing out. We're going to be running through some things that you have to do in order to get there. It's not but unto you yourself. We give out of ourselves and out to others, but you got to be poured into so you can pour back out. So that's a big part that we forget a lot of times. So there's going to be some seminars, some courses that actually going to have you to do some exercises for you to get to know a little bit more about where you're adding value based upon the perception of what people see. But we want to put it in alignment with your purpose and vision, because some people may be feeling they've got to get to somewhere and don't realize that. And then the last thing is, we also don't want you chasing things. So many people focus on their ideas and miss out on opportunities. Like Chisa gave an opportunity. I've already gone to register for the event that's going to be in Charlotte already. While sitting, I say opportunity to network, opportunity to get there. I might not be able to go to the ecosystem, but at least I get to network, and that's what it's all about. So I know I'm hyper. I'm that kinetic energy. So when I get fired up, I'm like popcorn. I might get slow, get started, but then I start to go. And you might have to reel me in and slow me down. That's the cackalacky chuck time. Get you got a girl I am. You just may have to slow me down and hold the process. But I get excited with you about your business. So hopefully you can come out. Not only will the information benefit you, it's going to also benefit these nonprofits. So I know that's a whole lot I said in a short period of time, but since Chisa gave me vibranium, my brain went vibrant, and so I'm vivaciously and vocally vibrant.
Okay, first of all, I feel like she is a rapper. Like, I feel like, and we're not, let me tell you something, what we're not going to do, because if you are old enough, seasoned enough to know, do y'all remember Sequence from back in the day? Do not do that, LaShawn. I'm about to tell her right now. First of all, if you're old enough to remember Sequence with, remember Angie Stone prior.
We're gonna funk you right on up. It's time to funk you right on up.
You see what I'm saying? So she will do the whole song for you. So we can't let that happen. Now we might let her do it at the Black Biz Summit. I don't know. That might be one of the surprises that she has. But listen, everybody said they love your energy on 1,000, love it. So what we want to do, because I love to stay on time. Okay, Michelle G said, go Sister Soul, Sister C. They're ready this morning. You got them hyped up. But I'm glad she got you hyped up, because it's about to be something that is, okay, let me just say this. we work hard behind the scenes in order to bring you dynamic events. Okay. So I talked to LaShawn, I talked to La-Tasha. She's on, she's just not on the thing right now, on a regular basis every week. And we always want to ask a lot of questions, because if you ask a lot of questions, then what you can do is you can try to, circumvent any problems that a person might have. You can try to make sure that you're doing things for the majority of people to make sure that they have a great experience. And so that's one of the things where, for me, having people around you to be able to mentor, to be able to coach is an important factor. And so if you just saw this energy, imagine this being your coach, and imagine that energy right there, really hyping you up for your business, but not just hyping you up, giving you great ideas and being able to walk with you through this whole path of business. So I would suggest, please go ahead. I'm going to put it back up on the screen. Register for her class. It's not a ridiculous amount. And I do want to shout out Kenyetta. She was on here, but she'll probably be back in a little bit, who was just saying, and you'll see it in this video that we have coming up, that, don't worry about charging people, because that's what we have to do if we want to stay in business. And so when I say, well, her class is $47, it's only $47, that might be a lot for somebody, right? But that $47 that can then get you out of it. If you spent $47 and you were stuck on something and you couldn't get it out, and you didn't get what you needed just from yourself or your people that you were talking to, because maybe they weren't experts in the field, or maybe they haven't been through enough stuff entrepreneurially, it is worth everything that you invest. And so I just want to say that. And I want to thank LaShawn for being on today, and giving us that energy. And LaShawn, thank you so much. Now we're going to transition to another person really quickly, because I love to stay on time. So thank you so much. And then stay tuned, everybody. Now, this next person that I'm going to bring up, she's here and she's in the backstage. I'm going to let her talk about her business really quickly, because she's also one of our members, Daisha. Hey, girl. She's one of our members at the Give It Get It business membership. And before we started talking about the membership, I asked her some questions about what were things that she wanted to see. So I want her to talk about her business really quickly, because she's going to be at the BLK BIZ Summit. And she was there previously, but this year she's going to be one of our speakers. And also, I just want you to, she's not in the video because she was out of town doing all kinds of gallivanting. Because she was taking planes. I saw on Instagram and stuff, and she was doing something for the bartending world. So that day she was, making business moves. So she didn't make the video, but she some days you got to go do what you got to do.
Good morning. Good morning. I love it. So yes, I was. I am actually in the ending stages of a mentoring cohort with Uncle Nearest. So that is where I was. So I apologize for not being available, but I am certainly super excited about being a part of the BLK Business Summit. I have been attending, I want to say at least 2 or 3 years, the summit. And each time I was able to get out of it some things that kind of motivated me to move things along as far as my business is concerned. Just being able to talk to people who are inside of the entrepreneurial space is always very refreshing. Because again, it's a different kind of world for those who don't live in being an entrepreneur. It has its ups and downs, and the very, very winding roads
that's what I said.
Go through.
All of that.
So it is definitely always refreshing. And it also gives an opportunity to share with others things that I've learned along the way. I'm no expert in all things, but I know a couple of things. So I am always want to share those things. So I'm super excited about the summit, but also the landscape of business. We all know that things are very, very different in these times here. So we are definitely going to have to lean into community. And so this is just an opportunity to do that.
Yes, it definitely is. Thank you so much. And I just wanted you to be able to share. And so she has a mobile bartending business.
Yes, we are a mobile mixology and beverage catering firm. So for all of your event-based services, we are there to assist you. If you're in the corporate space, we're certainly able to assist you. If you're having any of your holiday events, all of your employee appreciation events, if you're looking for team building, we do classes where we put you in the driver's seat and kind of show you how to create great if you're looking for something intimate to entertain clients or just looking to kind of network within, because sometimes you want to know your coworkers outside of the tasks that you all do together. So those are things that we kind of co-create with you and kind of bring your visions to life.
I love that. And her drinks are spectacular. Let me just tell you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And let me tell you, so this is where the ecosystem goes in. So our first guest today, Sarah, NC Idea sponsored when we did our open house in Chapel Hill at the Innovation Center. Jonathan Collins was the director of the Small Business Center at that time. And I wanted to make sure that we spent with a small business. And usually we focus on Black-owned and woman-owned BIPOC businesses. And NC Idea sponsored that, which then allowed us to be able to facilitate paying Daisha. So it's one of those things where this is an ecosystem, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it just works together. So, are you excited for this video that we're about to show?
I am.
Okay, this video is about to be so fun. All right, and I just want to shout out to everybody that was there. And let me make sure I don't forget anybody. Dom Cole Johnson, Corey Barbour, Queen Precious Jewel. I also want to shout out Kenyetta Hall. I want to shout out La-Tasha Best-Gaddy, Geraud Staton. I think that's everybody. I don't think I missed. Oh, Quintonia Thorpe, because I'm like, I know I missed somebody who was sitting on this side of me. And Quintonia Thorpe.
Everybody. I'm looking at the comments.
When I'm telling you, when we put things together, we are very intentional. And what we wanted to do was we wanted to give you what this year our theme is: experience the energy. Okay, so LaShawn already took care of the energy. So if you didn't get anything from LaShawn, took care of the energy. All right, and I want you to bring that energy from today all the way into August 1st. But I also want to share something with you. So not only are we going to do the Black Biz Summit, okay, which this is our 4th year doing it, but this year we're going to do Black Biz Month. And this year we are partnering with Downtown Durham Inc. to be able to support businesses in downtown Durham. So this is brand new, hot off the presses. So we're going to support Black-owned businesses during the month of August, and we'll have a list of all the Black-owned businesses that are in downtown Durham, and we want you to spend with them. So what's going to happen is there will be a QR code in each of the locations, and then we want you to go ahead and share your receipts so we know what the business and economic impact has been throughout the month. In addition to that, we're going to be doing some pop-ups. So if you see our little yellow umbrella, we're going to have a physical yellow umbrella. Okay, I already have a theme to it. You know that, right? And I'm stocking up on my yellow dresses. Okay, so I'm gonna have yellow dresses, the yellow umbrella, because you know you gotta have the whole thing going with it, right? You can't, you can't just do part of it, right? So we're gonna do that, and then this will be your location finder, so you'll know where the location is, and then you'll be able to come to these locations and you'll be able to spend money. So we are working on that. It will probably, we'll announce it before August, but by the end of the month, that last week of July, we're going to announce the days, where the businesses are, and all of that, so that this way you can participate. And we're going to do varied times, so that this way, some daytime, some evening, and we're going to do some weekend things as well, so that this way you can spend with these Black-owned businesses. And the thing about it is that I think Downtown Durham Inc. does an amazing job, but at the same time, they have a small staff. So if we're who we say we are when we talk about membership and trying to be inclusive and also supporting with our dollars, this is one way that everybody can help. So maybe you're not a business owner, but you are a person that has some money and you want something to eat, or you want something to drink, or you can spend it on an item at a retail store. This is going to be the thing that'll be able to help you. So in addition to that, you can also book Black-owned businesses like Daisha's, and you can go to giveitgetit.biz and you can find all of the businesses that are there. Everybody's not Black-owned though, because on our membership is for everybody. But then you can find those businesses there, connect with them. You can leave reviews for them on there. You can send them individual messages. So even though, you know, she's saying, listen, I'm here, I can do all kinds of things for your company, go onto the site, get her information and connect with her right on the site, and also get your free membership while you're there as well. All right. So Daisha, I want to thank you so much for being on today and participating.
We appreciate it. I'm super excited. Looking forward to it.
August 1st. Now, stay to the end, everybody, because I have some groundbreaking news that you'll be the first to know as well. All right, so I'm going to pop her off. And then what we're going to do is we're going to jump over here. Told you about the membership, but if you said, well, look, I'm looking for something that can help my business grow. I'm looking to connect with other business owners. I also want people to know about my events. Then you can list your events and things. You can connect your social media to it. We send out emails on a weekly basis that let you know things that are coming up as far as events, trainings, and things like that, but also grant opportunities and just helpful tips that you may need for marketing your business and funding. So go to giveitgetit.biz right now and feel free to join. And now, are y'all ready? I'm going to have to get Tammy out, okay? Now I'm going to take myself off because this is going to be the debut of our Experience the Energy for 2025 for the Black Biz Summit. And just know this is about 30 some minutes, right? So just stay and you're going to enjoy it, all right? So, guess what? This is the 4th year for the Black Biz Summit.
It's exciting.
Can you believe it?
I know, right?
It's been 4 years. So with that, I have some questions to ask you guys, because every one of you has been to at least one Black Biz Summit, if not all of them so far. We're changing now, so we're in our new location, which is Weldon Mills.
Okay.
So how do you like the venue?
Very nice.
I remember Weldon. This used to be the hair school.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Really?
Oh, wow. Yeah, because Missy Lanes is right here.
Right. Uh-huh.
And this used to be a hair school because you could see them doing hair right through the.
Wow.
Because Weldon Mills only used to be downstairs, and before that, it was a co-working space.
Oh.
But of course, parking is for downstairs. But there used to be a co-working space because I had a membership. And then when they changed, because they had to probably leave, they moved over to Ramsar, and then Weldon Mills came.
Okay.
And then now we're here, so then they moved it upstairs. I was like, okay, I like this.
Oh.
But this is your first time being in here.
Yeah, first time being upstairs.
So your impression of being here, our goal this year was to make it more intimate, to make it feel like you were at home, but you were still learning, and to make it so that this way there would be more engagement so we could have these types of conversations. So is that like a 10 out of 10 on that?
Yes.
It's giving more of like a social vibe.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? It's
social.
more of a, we have couches, we have lounges, we have professionals,
I think that's critical in today's world because when we come out, we want to connect better.
Yes.
And any barrier that's in place, whether it be a building that's entirely too big, could be intimidating. So when you walk in here, the warm colors, how things are laid out, really makes you want to meet people and be comfortable and stay a while. So I think this is going to be amazing.
That's exactly what we want.
Yes.
Okay, so I love that. So let me ask you this. What keeps you coming back for the Black Biz Summit? Because you've been before. Now, Dom will get in and get out. The first year, let me tell you something. I didn't even know she came the first year because at that time I didn't know you, but you came because clients of ours were there and you were like, let me come check it out. So I didn't even meet you until year 2, right? But what keeps you coming back?
It's the collaboration. It's the collaboration. It's the really getting into the heart of Durham and getting into understanding the people of Durham, understanding the business owner, understanding what they need, right? And so that's what keeps me coming back to every single event, every single one, because the camaraderie, the collaboration, the partnership, the building, all of that great stuff. And it equates to us centering together. And it equates to what the heart of the people need. And so us coming together is the heartbeat of what the people need.
I love that. Now, Corey drives, okay? So Corey does not live in Durham. When we first started this, we were still in Greensboro. Now we're here in Durham 2 years. But your commute to get here, and not only the commute, the dedication to say, I'm gonna stay the whole day. Right. And so when you first came, you came as an attendee. And then last year you taught and the people did not want to get out of his class. And I was like, people, we have more sessions. So we need you to get out of Corey's class because somebody needs to come into this room. And then this year he's going to be one of our moderators for, of course, the money panel, because you're all about the money. You see, he has the money green on. But just in going from being an attendee to saying, okay, I'm going to speak. And then now, I'm moderating, being a part of it. what keeps you coming back?
So I believe this event is one of the greater events on the East Coast. I remember you saying that it is far greater than Durham.
Mhm.
So Durham is absolutely amazing. It's a wonderful place to be, to see a lot of our cousins and people that we want to do business with. But if you are looking at connecting to the community, it's a place that you need to be, because everything is in the room. I know that sounds cliche, but regardless of what you need help with, there are answers in the room and there are resources. There are opportunities in the room. That's what we really have to start focusing on, is how do we transition these connecting events into cash flow? Because that will then change the world that we live in. So for me, it's a no-brainer to attend. Because the impact is so much greater than just Durham and North Carolina.
That's good.
Yeah.
I feel like you need to tag that somewhere.
Well, I mean, that's what I wanted. Like, I wanted it to make, an economic impact in this era. And so just being able to we're putting more emphasis on being able to track that and to see like where people come from. Because we've always looked at that, like people travel, and we want them to travel. So they've been coming from South Carolina, they've been coming from Virginia to come to the event. They've been coming from all over North Carolina. And I think if we can make that impact and make this something that is worth you coming for, it can definitely grow it. And I think maybe a part of that may seem a little weird this year too, because we chose a smaller venue, like you said, but we wanted it to be more intimate. And because this year we are definitely for sure charging, right? And we're not even charging that much, $100. You know what I mean?
I also feel like we don't even need to put a caveat on charging. I feel we don't need to do that. We're charging because it's not about the money, it's about understanding value add.
Definitely.
It's about understanding what it's an investment. And so charge what you charge.
Oh yeah.
Not to say that you won't anyway. But they not even have any narrative around it, because there's no need for any of that. It ain't just $100. It is $100 in investment in direction of your future.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And I think the thing is, a lot of times, to me, people travel for celebrities. They travel because of the city that it's in. And it's like, we have so much, like we're literally in the area of Black Wall Street, right? And so it just makes sense for us to continue this legacy. So Quintonia is also my soror, okay? But let me tell you something, but I didn't know when I first met Quintonia. So it's just one of those things where it's like, what? Sick me around sorority, They didn't know. Let's do it. Okay. Anyway, that's not what this video is about, but we'll get back to it. But I mean, you didn't even know me, and you came, and then you just keep coming back. So what keeps you coming back?
It is the knowledge and learning different things, because I've lived in Durham all my life. So that's very few and far between, because people are migrating here now. But it's also getting to know people. I've met you all through some type of event that probably Chisa hosted most of the time, right? So it is the collaboration, it's meeting new people, and I'm learning something each event I go to, right? I'm a numbers person, so I'm mostly head down all the time. So it's a chore for me sometimes to push myself to get out. And so I want to make sure that I'm learning something, I'm meeting good people, and I'm having fun while I'm doing it.
I know that's right.
Yeah, and it definitely makes a difference, because now it's really worth your time.
That's right.
Now, okay, this is going to be hard for you because everybody here is a talker. What one
Wait, you want
word?
to answer the question?
Oh, you know what, girl? You know what? I'm sorry.
I thought you did.
I think she did. Okay, because you kind of took over, and I was like, oh, well, that's her answer. So I thought maybe I didn't need to answer. Your contribution sounded like it was a part of it when you said, don't even worry about it. You already gave it. Right? Okay, thank you. So it wasn't just me. Okay. Kenyetta, what keeps you coming back? Because listen, Kenyetta has been a speaker on a panel, and then she also taught one of our AI classes last year. And so she's been here all 3 years. But what keeps you coming back, Ms. Hall?
We want to hear what you have to say.
I want to capture this on video. This was so dramatic. You try.
She said this is so dramatic.
Yes, what keeps you coming back? Let us know.
So the main reason I keep coming back, number one, is I know Chisa is going to put on a great event that is going to be packed full of information, and having the ability. It's also going to have the food. So let's
always keep you coming back.
It will.
Every time.
We're always going to have
every
the food.
time. And I also feel as if the way that the structure of the event is curated is purposeful. And I think that's important, right? You know, she doesn't put too much in there where people don't feel overwhelmed. She tries to ensure that there are spaces where people can attend, even just the nature of being at her events in general, and seeing how she was like, no, we're going to hold these sessions twice so that other people can actually go to them. I think that makes total sense versus always trying to have everything be new every single time. And so I think that's super important. Also bringing somebody that, you know, bringing people that are in tech into the space, right? It's very hard to have the crossover between Main Street businesses and what we consider traditional businesses, and then you have people who have a more technical background. My background is not as technical, but working in the tech space and being able to cross those bridges, right? And being able to see that, I think is super important, because those are the things that don't touch as often.
Right. No, I mean, sometimes tech things can feel isolating, you know, and I want everything to feel warm. You know, like I want you to feel like, oh girl, I had a best time. I just learned something, you know. You know, I want people to just walk in from the street, okay? And I want them to just walk in from the street, and I want them to just walk in and come sit down at the table when they get themselves situated. I'm doing that because somebody just literally walked in, but don't worry about it, y'all. So we're gonna so this is the hard one. One word to describe the vibe, just one word. The Black Biz Summit was one word.
Can we do 2 words?
Put a hyphen in between it.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay, I got it.
Oh, okay. Who wants to
got it.
Go.
Intentional.
Okay,
intentional.
Corporate cookout.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
I thought it was this stuff.
It's all of the things. You can do
it. Just leave it at that.
No, you can come on now. You don't have to explain corporate cookout.
Okay.
I don't have one to do that. It's only if your nails.
It's just the tongue.
Okay.
Because I thought if your nails.
Oh, you gotta have your finger up.
It's like
Let's get focused. If I had the time, I would say corporate cookout with cousins.
Okay, corporate cookout.
So what I mean by that is the environment is so engaging and fun and friendly. You feel like you're around relatives at a cookout.
Okay.
Those relatives at the cookout are so well versed in so many different areas that just like the food is good, the information is even better.
That's good.
So
this is why y'all should be here.
Corporate cookout with my cousins.
Yeah.
Corporate cookout with my cousins.
Okay. I love that. Okay. All right. I knew it was gonna be hard for y'all to do one word. Okay.
See, I did one word.
You did one word. You did
The
one
only
word.
man at this table.
Yeah.
And then I slid a 3rd word in there.
and a summary.
I asked for
But I didn't hear the whole thing.
Mission statement was
It is.
Okay, so
Permission makes sense.
Kenyetta, what's your one word?
My one word is, I would say, community.
Community.
Yeah, I definitely feel as if every single time we come, it's very much so community building. It's very much so, hey girl, what's going on? I haven't seen you.
It's that, hey girl, come on in the room.
Yeah.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it. We just had the corporate cousins just come on. That's it.
Yes.
In real time. Y'all didn't even know that.
Exactly. Pull up to the table. Pull up. And I think it's not an issue. It's not an issue. It's not an issue. Whoever walks in, it's always like, hey, what's going on? What do you do? And it's not pretentious. I think that to me is the biggest thing is when you go to events and they're pretentious. And so when you walk into the room, it's not pretentious, and that makes it a lot easier to network. People already struggle with networking. I always believe that networking events need to have intentional based things behind them. Like, you need to facilitate networking, right? I think,
and you got to have the right people.
You do, and that's why I think facilitation is always good. Is because you can walk in and be able to meet people, because that's hard to do it on your own. Right? It is, but it's not pretentious, and I think that that's super important.
I love that. Now, Quintonia, your one word.
My one word, Corey took, that was engaging, but I think it has a lot of positive vibes. So I really like that.
Okay, so Queen, Precious Jewel. Now I'm going to introduce her to everybody. So the food last year, that big old spread,
Big old.
that's the person responsible for that. Okay, now let's go back to year 1, that breakfast spread with the custom coffee that they make over there, that she sells on her website.
Yes.
All right. So year 1, they did our breakfast with the coffee. Year 3, they did our food.
With the city? Was it with the city or the chamber?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Okay, you see? Bringing the people together because they having a whole conversation. Yeah, that's not even part of what we're doing here.
Just give it to the
I mean, they just like, give it to the people.
And
This-
it's
this
so,
is- that's it.
We're recording, but we just want to okay, so
They're
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. So the question is,
Yes.
what one word describes the vibe of Black Biz Summit?
oh wow. Impactful.
Like it.
So for me, it's impactful
Mhm.
just from being able to truly people to see who's behind the scenes.
Mhm.
A lot of times when you, especially for me, when there's anything food involved or anything of that nature, they don't see that person behind the scenes,
True.
and they surely don't see the owner. So you might have somebody delivering, but not the owner.
Mm.
The owner not sometimes doesn't look like you.
Mhm.
So it's really impactful for me to see so many other businesses, so many other entities that look like me, do the same type of work as me, and want to truly have, like everybody's saying, genuine connections.
Mhm.
And that's the whole. So for me, impactful.
Okay.
Now, I love that you use that word because not only, did you do that, but then after that, clients came immediately,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then even in transitioning into now, because she was doing catering for these last 3 years that we, did the summit, but now going into year 4, she's doing private chef.
Yes, ma'am.
So that transition, even from that, still, I know for a fact, people that came to the summit last year are booking you to do things now this year, right? And, so have you found that you've worked with other people at the summit, like business-wise, and been able to do some things with them too?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, absolutely.
and that makes a difference. Okay, so now, what is your favorite Black Biz memory? You came, you saw, you conquered, but you had a good memory. I have one from Kenyetta's actual class, to be honest with you. Do you want me to tell them? So Kenyetta was in her class, minding her business, setting up for her class, right? And a Black man walked into the Black Biz Summit and came to her class and didn't realize that she was the teacher, the instructor, because she was teaching about AI. And I was just like,
Yes, now talking about AI, app building.
yeah, app building, yes.
How to build mobile apps.
Technology. And it's just like, so did you not think that was possible? Like, did you not see
No,
that
we
being
didn't.
an option that a Black woman would be doing that? So that to me is one of my
And he
favorite
said no.
memories. And he said no.
He said no.
Well, thank him for his honesty.
Yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
your honesty, and you exposed it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing is that most people are very clear and understanding about what technology is, but building an application or understanding what goes into it, who look like us talking about it all the time
That
on a
part.
consistent basis. So
Yeah.
he didn't know. So when he said that to me, I was never offended because that's not the face,
Right.
right? And so
Right.
that's why I'm very intentional of being very specific about when you're trying to build a piece of technology, you want to learn about technology, you want to understand the business behind how you build those technology businesses, that I show up because people need to understand we are all in this space.
Yeah.
But you don't get to see that part of it. You typically see this standard, right? Of what we see in the startup world and stuff like that. So
Wow.
Now,
try to be the anti-pattern.
one thing that we talked about, and I'll just go over to you, Queen. So we talked about you go to a lot of events, and we've had vendors before. So this year, it will not be vendors like that at all, okay? We will have tables set up that are more resource information based because the venue is smaller. But even when we did have vendors and they were selling things, we were intentional about the vendors that we had, right? Your word. And what we did was we said, okay, we will bring people in the room, the right people that will allow you to make money, right? And so with that, you know what I'm saying? Like from being a vendor who was there, who was making money, people were actually able to purchase, right? So it wasn't like, okay, I'm just having an event, everybody let's be cute, because we be cute though. But being able to just make money also while you were there. So can you touch on that just a little bit?
Well, one of the things that I did love about the summit is that because I do have a spice line, an award-winning spice line. So let me make sure I put that out.
Yeah.
Put award-winning on it. Put award-winning on it.
Yes.
It allowed people to go from the food to actually seeing this is the spices that I use in the food. And one of the premises for my business, Indulgent Essential Spices, is for you to see the face behind your spices, so you know what that is. So it was good for people to see I'm the chef, but I'm also the face behind the spice, and for them to buy it, and they are repeat buyers now. So that's the other part that I love, that having not just a one-time customer, but repeat customers, and people who have seen me at other spots come and say, "You're here? Great, because I'm low. I need to restock." So they were able to, so having that actual tangible thing for them was big. So,
Okay. And it definitely made a difference. Okay. So anybody else, you have a favorite memory?
Selfishly, my favorite memory, one of the biggest things that we believe at Barbour Companies is money is not everything, but it's in everything. So to have a session where people didn't want to leave, to have a session where there was so much engagement, I probably spoke 50% of the time. To be able to debunk some of the foolishness that's out there also. When it comes to, because it's the biggest challenge that we have when it comes to entrepreneurs and small businesses is funding. And so much so that now when you hear that word in a lot of people's ears and eyes, it is a negative thing. But I think that's the trick of the enemy, because when you don't have funding, you cannot grow.
That's
Right.
Or if you do grow, you grow slow. And so it was selfishly a session where I engaged with my cousins. I could see the light bulbs go off. I heard some of their concerns, and we were able to talk through it. And they didn't want to leave at the end of the day. So it worked out really well. And for me, moving from networking to serving is critical, right? Because there's probably some people out there that this is their 4th year coming. At some point in time, you should move from networking to serving, because this is a great place to serve. And by serving, you get more. And you impact more. So just the ability to serve was great for me.
Yeah, no, I love that. You have one?
Well, it's to his point, mine is always the sessions for me, because I'm learning so much. Even I've sat in quarries, I've sat in Infinity Bridges, different things, and I'm gaining knowledge, because I'm still new according to me, right? For my business. So I'm always trying to streamline something, put some SOPs in play or different things. And I can't do that by myself. I need everyone else to help me. So the networking is just comes as a caveat, but the sessions are really important for me.
Oh, I love that. But I mean, that's the thing. We want to always bring quality people.
Right.
And I love the fact that I always look at what a person is capable of, even if they can't see themselves that way. And a lot of times it's been a person's first time speaking.
Right.
And that, to me, that's one of the best memories too, because then I saw them get clients, right? Or I see them working together and they're like, oh, I met them at such and such. I met them at your event. And I'm talking about across the state being able to do that. So to me, that's always one of the best memories when people say that. Okay, so this is a big question. What are you most excited about this year? Because now, okay, have you been in the venue before?
I have not been.
So this is your first time being here too. Okay, so see, I got everybody. First of all, I want y'all to know, I love finding a venue that people have not been to. You do not even know how that just excites me, because people will just be like, oh, that's in Durham? Yes, it's in Durham. Sometimes you just gotta look like it's all kinds of stuff. And I think a lot of times people go to the same place over and over because it's comfortable. And me, I'm just like a vibe. Like, I want you to feel the light. I want you to feel the energy. And that's really the theme this year. You know what I'm saying? Is experience the energy, because I can tell you all day, but until you come, it's like it's the energy that's here that you might not get anywhere else, because I go to events and I'm just like, well, who all over there? Should I put on my good clothes or not? Do I need to put on my good clothes? Just put on some sweatpants, child.
I mean,
Don't
at
even,
this point, the question is,
look, am I going, right? Or is it parking close? And all of that stuff. And so those things make a difference. And so we try to always make sure that it's worth you putting on your clothes and coming out, because that makes a big difference. But Don, what are you most excited about this year?
I'm always excited.
Okay.
And when I get the opportunity to really help my people, right, to help us learn and grow together, and I sit in a space where I sit around other people that don't look like me, a lot of people that don't look like me, and I take that knowledge that I learned from them, and I help my people with it. And so making sure that we have the same tools that they have, we just don't use what they have.
What do you do?
I'm a banker.
Okay.
And so, being in this business for almost 30 years, we have a tendency, and, he knows that our thing is they think that when you say that, that's a bad thing. but it's a good thing if you know how to work it. They know how to work the system.
Yes.
So because they know how to work the system, it works for them. But we have that same access. We just choose not to use it. And so I walk in these spaces where you can use that access. Why? Because you have me, right? So I sit with them and I say, this is what you can do. If you can't, then I'll pass you to my brother that can, right? And so this is what we do. Collaboration, partnership, that has always been my niche. And so being a servant first, right? A service to the people, a service to making sure that you have all the tools that you need to help you learn and grow. Because with us as business owners, as Black people, we often take the fact that because of who we are, that it's just supposed to be given to us. No, we want to do the work.
Say that one more time.
So as we did, so we want you to be, it's not about being, like he said, fast. We want you to be slow, but we want stability. Right?
Sustainability.
And what we're looking for is really a legacy. You want to leave a legacy, right? And so this is what all of this does. It helps you build and leave that legacy for your family. And so, and not just your family, but those that you are connected to, right? Because you want people to tell your story. You don't want people to come to the end of your life and say, well, she almost was a good person, or she almost helped her people, right? You want to say that, yes, she did that thing, right? She made sure that everybody around her felt safe. That's what I love about you. I love the energy that you give, right? I love the energy that you provide, because if you don't, then you won't have this, right? And it's all about energy. It's all about positivity. It's all about all the colors, everything, right? So, and that's what it's about. And if you don't have that, like, you know, I've been in a lot of spaces where I'm like, sis here, like, okay, who gonna be there?
All right.
Right? And so
that's literally the question I ask every
who gonna be there? And how long is it gonna be? I'm gonna give you 30 minutes of
right. That's all I got for you.
Right, that's all I got.
Let's be clear. Dom came to support today. She didn't even know she was gonna be doing all this, right? Okay. Dom walked in cute, okay? Cute, tiptoeing across the street.
I'm here to support.
And I was like, you know, we got food and beverage and everything. And she was like, I was like, okay, you ready for your video? She was like, no. And then I was like, you can't come out the house looking cute like this and don't get in a video. Come on now. But that to me is a thing. You felt comfortable enough to do that too. So that is an important factor too.
Right.
So what are you most excited about this year?
I'm excited about the intimacy.
Ooh.
Because, you know, when we're in larger settings, there's a lot of people there. But when you're in a smaller setting, you only have a certain amount of people, and that gives you a little bit more room to get to know each person. Yes, and understand what they do and how that you can support them and they can support you.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Oh,
What you got? No, you got.
I really appreciate, and especially when you have intimate environments like this, and I know that one thing that Chisa does well, specifically when it comes to intimate environments, or just having the conversation, is actually have a conversation about money. I think people don't, and Chisa does very well. So I know in this smaller context, she's going to put that out. She's going to put that forth and say, hey, this is how you drive impact. You don't drive impact with just community. You drive impact with your dollars. And I know that to be true about the space that's going to happen this time around, is that now it's going to be more upfront and not, because we have this negative connotation around money. Right? Everything is like, oh, how can I give? How can I serve? That is a spectacular thing. Service comes with a cost.
That's right.
And it's okay to charge for that service, right? So I know that there's going to be intentionality behind understanding how do you support community, not just through collaboration with your dollars.
Yes, yeah, definitely. I have so many great speakers this year, and I'm always intentional, but I said, let's get some of the heavy hitters in the room this year, you know, because I think of it. So if you've been doing this for 20, 30 years and you go to a whole bunch of events, who might you want to see in the room? You know, like who might you not normally get access to, but you would feel more comfortable now? And the biggest thing I think that people told me too was, well, you go from one session to another. You have like a 10 or 15 minute break, and then everybody is trying to talk to that speaker or do whatever, but then try to get to the next session and figure out what they want to do. So this year we're changing that format where it's like, okay, we'll do our panel. You'll get to hear what they have to say. But if you want to talk to this person and that person, they're here. And now you get that extra time to be able to do that, you know, and you get the time to be able to say, hey, I'm a bookkeeper. Let's get your money together, because you know it's jacked up, right? Okay. As opposed to, I'm just another person that's here, and we got to go to another session. So now that conversation should happen, and it should lead to more connections with things, because I think people want to spend with each other. Back to the question, what are you most excited about this year? Because you look really happy and excited.
I am so excited to be able to attend wholeheartedly.
Ooh.
So
Yes.
with this pivot, I have been very intentional about going and experiencing really what it means to be a subject matter expert and standing in the space with other experts. And so I'm excited to stand in a spot with other experts that one thing that all of your events are safe spaces. And so having that safe space to be able to ask those hard questions that I know can transform this pivot into a private chef even more, because this is a business. All right. And so that's the most part I'm excited about, to be able to actually be a person in the room versus just maybe on the outside or watching things. So
that's a difference. That's a huge difference.
Awesome.
Yeah, because it is. Because if you do the events all the time, sometimes you don't get a chance to sit down and just listen.
That's
Or you can catch a snippet, but now you get to get the whole thing.
Right.
I love that. Corey?
Yeah, so with everything that's been said, I don't think there's a greater time in life where we need to return to ourselves. I don't think there's any better time than now. With everything going on that, we need to be in rooms with like-minded people that challenge us, that give us the proper resources, and that allow us to strategize and to build. And so I'm excited about a time like now, with the intentionality and everything you all have said, and it all coming together, because we really, really need each other right now, like right now.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think if people understand that more, I think maybe things were disjointed before, but you really understand you can't just be an island. Like you really actually need to have support. And you know, if that support, like let's say with Dom, I always say she will say my name in rooms and I'm not there. Okay. And so I love that, right? And Dom will call and be like, hey, girl, did you know such and such? And I'd be like, no, girl, tell me. You know, so that's a good thing, you know. And then Quintonia is always there to definitely support, and she's gonna come and she's gonna learn and she's gonna listen, right? You know, Kenyetta is gonna come and she's gonna get a plate, and she is also going to be like, listen, girl, I network with such and such. Like she is always going to network and connect with people. So that's a definite thing. Come on in. See, look, this is how we do. It just gets bigger. It just get on over there. Get on over there. Perfect timing.
What's going on?
Yeah, we are one relationship away.
Hold on, don't say it. Wait till she sit down. And then
You know, Reverend Barbour's here.
okay.
Barbour's here.
So the question, Geraud, is what are you most excited about this year? So Corey's gonna go, and then we're gonna jump over to you about what you're most excited about. Okay, so action.
Everything that you all are saying, I believe. And I hold this, and I got too much experience not to believe it. We are one relationship away from what you want to accomplish. One piece of information. And when we don't get the information, when we don't build the relationships, you don't get the phone calls. There was a gentleman that you introduced me to that I wanted to meet for 5 years. She made one phone call and we had breakfast.
See?
Wow. So
One thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna connect.
That part.
That's what I said.
I'm gonna connect now.
I'm gonna connect.
Yes.
I'm gonna connect.
Yes. Okay. So Geraud, this is going to be your first year at the Black Biz Summit. Okay.
Yes,
And I had been hearing about him, and people kept telling me about him, and I was like, well, I have got to meet this gentleman. Okay. And now here we go with another guest getting ready to come. Do you see? Like, this is like, I feel like we started out trying to record video. This is a whole podcast. I'm gonna just do this on a regular basis. I'm gonna just have to change this. Come on in here. Come on in, sister girl.
As and when.
Okay.
Right on time.
I mean, right on time. God don't make no mistakes, honey. I'm trying to tell you, God don't make no mistakes. So I have this meeting with Geraud, right? And one of my other friends, Margaret, introduced me to Geraud because we're at the Durham Hotel, you know, and she's like, look, come to this because this is where the movers and shakers are at. So I was like, well, girl, hit me to the news so I know where to be because I need to be where the shakers and the movers are, right? And then he's there, and so we take a picture. And I want you to understand how crazy this is. I just put underneath the picture, I was just like, you know, basically like, it's some big things getting ready to happen in Durham. The picture, you may as well say it went LinkedIn viral. People were like, oh, my favorite people. I'm so glad y'all are doing something together. I didn't even know we were going to do something together. So I sit with Geraud. We talk for like an hour and a half, okay? and perspective was so wonderful. And I was just like, you've got to be there. So at the end, I said, well, is there anything I could do for you? And he was like, I want to be one of the speakers. And I was like, you better speak at this thing, Geraud. So it was just such a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? And so what are you most excited about since this is your first year?
This.
Yeah.
Look, I just popped in, so I didn't get to hear what everyone said. If I repeat some things, then
It is what it is.
so be it. But I tell you, the connection piece of this is big, because that's exactly right what you said. Margaret, somebody I've known forever, she was like, hey, here's somebody that you should meet. Just like that, just over the Durham, which is great. Plug to the Durham Hotel. So maybe they'll sponsor something.
We are going to be there in July.
Nice.
Yes, and in August. We already have that hooked up. Yes.
Yeah, speaking of the beach.
Yep.
So you're welcome. But yeah, it's those connections. And so this has been amazing. And that picture went crazy.
It did.
So you're right. Everyone was like, oh my God, it's about time you guys started doing something together. I was like, okay, I didn't know this person literally 2 days before.
Exactly. And I didn't either, right?
And suddenly it is a life-changing thing.
Yeah.
And so you just never know when those things are going to happen.
Right.
And I'm really excited about more of that happening in this event.
Well, it's a convergence. And I think sometimes you weren't supposed to meet people until you were supposed to meet.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it was a right time and it was a mindset. And so I think that makes a big difference in things. Now, La-Tasha Best-Gaddy. Okay. Don't play with it.
Let me tell you something.
La-Tasha Best-Gaddy.
First of all, come on now. That's the person
Okay, that's what they said. They came in at the right time. So I don't even remember how we initially met. I'm sure when we first met, you might have still been at another company.
Yes.
I don't think you had even started Infinity Bridges.
I know, right?
She gets
But when I tell you a connection and a relationship, and we have done some teaming together, we have done some subcontracting, some working on some things, putting together massive, wonderful summits like the Durham Business Evolution Summit plus Expo. That thing, we did that. So just her energy, you know what I'm saying? And what I love about La-Tasha is she does the stuff I don't want to do, and I do the stuff she doesn't want to do. Like the marriage there. And then now Mr. Brown is not here, but Mr. Brown is our official COO of our little group. Okay. He's my CEO for giving to the people, but he's our CEO. So he's trying to tell all of us what to do. But what are you most excited about? Because you've been here from the beginning and now you're 4.
Right.
Yeah, so I have been here from the beginning. I think I'm always excited for the connections. I love, like last year, seeing somebody and they was like, well, you haven't introduced me to somebody. So I'm like, okay. Before I knew it, I introduced them to everybody in the room. I am a believer of networking and communication, and intentionally. Like, I really do think there's a space for everybody, and we don't have to be like, oh, I'm gonna compete with you. I'm gonna compete with you. It's like, no, you know what? I don't even like to do this thing, but you seem to like to do this. So can I give you this part? And then this is the other part I don't like to do. Can you show up and do this part? And then let's figure out how, because there's enough out here, and entrepreneurs need that, and they need to hear it from different people and reputable people. And so my thing is connecting them with reputable people, so that guess what? At the end of the day, we all are making money.
That's right.
And so that's the beauty of what I enjoy. That's what I look forward to with the summit. That's what I look forward to finding somebody, and then they're like, oh, you know what, I needed a caterer. And I'm like, or I was like, but you may need a personal chef.
And a DJ.
And a DJ. So let me kind of give this to you this way. And they're like, oh, I didn't know if I needed that. Or I need a banker, and I need a banker that's going to listen to me. I need somebody that's going to talk to me. I need somebody that's going to know my name, when I walk in, and not just be like, can I help you? So those kind of relationships or bookkeepers or all these other things. And so what the summit does is bring it all together. And I'm going to use her favorite word. She curates it. The environment. And I just show up to be a part of it all.
That's good. I love it.
I know, you just show up.
She does.
She's the background, and hanging out.
Yeah, she show up.
Because that's exactly what she tries to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
She
Yeah.
really tries to do
Yeah.
that.
So the Black Biz Summit is the place to experience the energy. All right. Listen, did y'all enjoy that as much as I enjoyed that? First of all, I was there, but just seeing it again, and this is not my first time watching it, let's just be clear. Just seeing it again was one of those things that let me know that this is the right thing to do in the right time. And I want you to know that we did consider not doing it in the form that it's been done before. Like as far as not naming it the Black Biz Summit this year, we decided that it was important because we needed spaces to be able to be together. Okay. And I want to say that I hope you enjoyed it as much as like we enjoyed just being together and putting it together. And it gave me, I like a newfound just energy for what we do and how we do it. And so here are my announcements. So when I said the movers and shakers, and I also said we wanted to have people in the room that you wanted to see, all of this is hot off the presses. So one is we now have Senator Natalie Murdock coming, okay? And Senator Natalie Murdock is the youngest Black woman senator in North Carolina, okay? So when she came in underneath 40, all of that. So this is the senator right here, that first one. Next to the senator, we also are going to have the first Black mayor of Carrboro, which is Mayor Barbour Foushee, and she is the active mayor right now. We're also going to have the first Black woman mayor of Durham, which is Elaine O'Neill, who she was a lawyer and a judge, and now she is just doing her thing, living her life, but she definitely brought a newfound energy to Durham. And then also Carolyn Rhodes on our first panel, who is the top woman over at NC Rule Center. And so what we have to realize is, this is why when Corey said it's bigger than Durham, is that it is, because this is a statewide economic impact infrastructure that we're trying to build here. Even though it is housed in Durham, we still want people from across the state. So we can't act like rural areas are not being affected. And if you look at what just happened last week, right before 4th of July, and you saw how a bill, I will not call it by the name that it's been called, but a bill passed that is going to cut resources to our rural areas, specifically hospitals, definitely when we talk about our healthcare, and when we also talk about the resources that are being cut from SCORE, from some of our other organizations that were federally funded throughout the state. This is a big initiative. And so this is why when we say we need sponsorship, and we are very, very happy with our sponsors of Black Wall Street, Infinity Bridges, and now also NC Idea. And then, of course, Give It to the People and our Give It, Get It business membership are sponsors. But if you decide, listen, I want to be a sponsor, I need you to know that your money will be well spent, because you will be in the room with the movers and shakers. You are going to be in the room with the people that do make or have made laws and that are working throughout the state for the betterment of everybody. So again, we have Senator Natalie Murdock. We also have Mayor Barbour Foushee, former Mayor Elaine O'Neill, and then also Carolyn Rhodes. Now, on top of that, if that wasn't enough for our first panel, I'm just going to go through real quick, and I'm just going to show you some of the other wonderful people that will be in the room. In addition to that, then we're also going to have our city council member, Deidreana Freeman. Geraud Staton is going to do an amazing workshop for us to get our minds together. We have Queen Precious Jewel, who she is going to be there. And guess what? She is doing the food again. So if you know, like I know, it's going to be a different different experience this year, but it's going to still be an amazing experience. And I'm just going to tell you, if you have already checked out some of the food that we have had before, you know the food is going to be slamming. All right. In addition to that, we're also going to have our coffee provided by Triangle Coffee House. Jermaine Bantam is going to be in the building. And so on that Sip into Success panel, that's where you'll see Queen, you'll see Jermaine, you'll see Mike Potter, who is owns the only Black, what is it called? Distillery that is in Durham, and he has his own beer, Proximity Brewing. And then Daisha, who you heard from a little bit, area brewery. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. I said distillery, didn't I? Girl, brewery. Thank you for getting me together. And so these people all make up different areas of what is near and dear to me. And when I say this, I need you to understand, to me, food is an important factor when it comes to doing these things, because I believe that it is a communal thing. I believe that we can be a little bit more calm or relaxed. And to me, that is a part of the mental wealth that we want to add into all of the events that we do. Kenyetta will definitely be there. Corey Barbour is going to be heading our money panel. And let me tell you about the money panel. Listen, when I tell you I'm bringing the people out, I'm bringing the people out. Okay. So we have Kevin Dick from Carolina Small Business Development, the top people. Okay. We also have the Inacons. So if you don't know about Andrea and Charles, they have a company called Breva, which when Janelly was speaking earlier, that midpoint where people don't know what to do and they need a coach and all the rest of that, their company helps to do that specifically online so that people can get ready for loans. And it also gives them access to grants as well. So they're going to be on the panel. And then we also have Kevin Price that's going to be there from the National Institute, and Dom Cole Johnson from Pinnacle Bank. So our money panel, okay, these are the people that help you get the money from the organizations that are statewide throughout North Carolina, okay? And then we also have our resources. And so we have EDPNC that's going to be there, which is Monica Molina. We have my friend Jonathan Collins that's going to be there from Carolina Small Business Development. Faye Horowitz is going to be there to represent Forward Cities and the E3 movement that is here local in Durham. So when I tell you, if you said I'm considering coming, yes, you should consider coming. If you are considering sponsoring, yes, you should consider sponsoring, because you are definitely going to get your money's worth. And hold on, what else? And my girl Still Shots Photography is coming, so everybody's going to get a headshot, okay? This is going to be something that you're going to be like, look, I should not miss it. And now, one more announcement. So we do have one more sponsor, which is North Carolina Central University. Their SEED program, which is the Center for Entrepreneurship and Economic Development, is going to be giving out 3 free tickets. So somebody that's on here today is going to win. So what I want you to do is I want you to type your name into the chat. And I also want you to type your email address into the chat. Now, not if you're a speaker and you already are coming, okay? But if you are watching. So we're going to give away a free ticket to a person who is watching and who is also a member of the Give It, Get It business membership. So the thing is, we put this out on social media. We've been telling people, we send it in emails, but we wanted to make sure that people are intentional about where they're spending their time. And part of that time means that you are spending it in that membership. So if you know that you're a member, and you also know that you are, you want to come, right? I want you to type your name into the chat, and I want you to type your email address, because we are going to choose a winner from this list today. Now, in addition to that, let's add on July 16th, which is coming up on a Wednesday. Okay, July 16th, not this Wednesday, but next week, Wednesday, we're going to be hosting our event, which is our Give It to the People networking at the Durham Hotel. We're going to give away 2 more tickets next week. So you have those opportunities to get a free ticket today. So if you are a member and you are also on here watching live, type your name and your email in here, and we're going to choose from those people. And then you can also come out next week and you can win a ticket. Now, you can't win twice, okay? But you can come out and you can still network. And in this way, this will prepare you for what? The Black Biz Summit. And so for that networking event that we're doing next week, you will see La-Tasha Best-Gaddy, who was in the video, and also Margaret McNabb, who we were talking about, myself and Geraud. And so we're putting this networking event together in order to make sure that this way you get connected to people even before the summit. So guess what? I mean, it's been an amazing day so far. I hope you have thoroughly enjoyed yourself. All of the information for everything, if you want to check out the Black Biz Summit, you can go right down there to blackbizsummit.com. Okay, BLK BIZ SUMMIT.com. And you can use code Black Wall Street, so BLACKWALLST, for a discount. And that discount will then allow you to get a discount off of your ticket if you're going to be making a purchase. But I just want you to know that we are really, really excited to see you. We are definitely grateful to Black Wall Street Forward for continuing to believe in our mission, NC Idea, NC Seed, Infinity Bridges, look, now I'm sounding like Daffy Duck. Being and Becoming, for always definitely being supportive on all the things that we do. And we just hope that you guys will make sure that you are at the event. All right. Now, if for some reason you can't make it, guess what? It is okay. This year, we're also going to record it, and we will be having the recording up for a fee. So if you feel like you can't make it and you know that date's just not going to work for you, it is okay. But after the event, then we will have it up for a fee for you to be able to also purchase as well, because it is valuable. But we do want you to come in person, because that's where you experience the energy. So from myself, Mr. Brown, and also from Tammy, we want to tell you guys, thank you so much for watching today. And make sure that you join us at an event coming up near you. And don't forget, we're going to be doing Black Biz Month as well. So when we do Black Biz Month, what you're going to get to see, hold on, is, let me get it. Where is it? Boop. Uh-oh, hold up. Where we go? So, I got to fly. Where's my, okay, there we go. So for the Black Biz Month, we're going to be doing events throughout the city, but downtown. And then you'll be able to come to other locations, and you'll be able to spend money with other businesses as well. So it's a lot of stuff happening, and we want to be who we say we are and really be in the ecosystem and really be in the community, which is why we do the things that we do, because we definitely care. So from me and Mr. Brown and our daughter, Tammy, okay? Make sure that you have a great day. Make sure that you always show up and show out, and that you continue to give it to the people. Bye, guys.